your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man!
Dan is back in the house. Say hi to everybody, Uncle Dan.
Hey, how you doing?
It's the Mohr Stories podcast. Uncle Dan is back and he's getting married. It's a very special episode.
June 1st.
Uncle Dan is getting married June 1st, and we are going to organize his bachelor party in this podcast, and you, the listener, can be involved. You can win a trip to go to Uncle Dan's bachelor party by tweeting me hashtag Dan's wedding. Now, here's the deal. First of all, this episode of Mohr Stories is brought to you by our friends at Stamps.com. It's tough deciding where to focus your resources to grow your business, but one thing I can tell you, you don't need to waste valuable time going to the post office. That stinks, right, Uncle Dan?
Stinks. I hate the post office.
You hate it?
I hate it.
What about the air conditioning?
The air conditioning is okay, but I hate the post office.
But you got air conditioning in your house, too.
That's right. I could just do my stamps at home and forget about the post office.
With Stamps.com, you can access all the service of the post office right from your desk 24/7 with Stamps.com. Buy and print official U.S. postage using your own computer and printer. Get postage for any letter or package, any class of mail, all for just a fraction of the cost of an expensive postage meter. With Stamps.com, you will never have to go to the post office and steal their air conditioning ever again. You can use your own, like a boss. Spend time where it matters most, focused on your business. I use Stamps.com. I want you to do it too. Right now, use my last name, Mohr, M-O-H-R, for the special offer. It's a no-risk trial. No risks, Uncle Dan.
None?
None. Think of a risk.
Okay, I'm thinking of one.
All right, I'll say it.
You go to the post office and someone comes in with a gun.
Yeah.
And holds everybody up and steals all your money.
Yeah, that will never happen because you won't be at the post office. I'm trying to explain this to you.
Unless the same guy breaks into your house after the post office.
No, that guy won't come to your house because you have locks in your house and you don't have business hours.
I only get the bottom lock. The top one's broken, but I shouldn't have even said that because now he might. Now he might come.
No one's going to break into your house because when you use Stamps.com, it's a no-risk trial.
Risks.
No risks.
None.
You get a $110 bonus offer that includes a digital scale and up to $55 free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in my last name, Mohr, M-O-H-R. Stamps.com. Enter Mohr, M-O-H-R. Now, Uncle Dan, you're getting married June 1st.
That's correct.
Do you know the bride, or is it mail order, or is it, what's happening here?
No. I know the bride very well. We've been engaged for 27 years.
You've been engaged for 27 years. Is that cold feet, or did someone lose their feet in an accident?
Lukewarm feet, I think, or something. No, we got engaged. I don't know. Let me see. Let me count the year. It was January 1987. So how long does that make it? Is that 27, right? 87, 97, 2007. Yep. 27 years.
You're asking me math questions.
Okay, well, I just did it in my head, and it is 27 years.
You've been engaged 27 years.
That's correct.
What do you think was the biggest holdup to you actually standing there waiting for your beautiful bride, the lovely Lori, to come down the aisle?
Well, I just always feel like you really got to get to know somebody before you really make that big commitment.
So after 27 years, you're like, okay, I've seen this person's ups, downs, ins, outs.
Correct.
Now you're ready to make the big leap.
Now I'm ready to make the big leap. We're getting married, and that's it.
And
plus, I just turned 62, and she can collect my Social Security, so that's probably part of it too.
So you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, so she can actually make a little money.
That's right.
You're a good man, Uncle Dan.
Thank you.
This is not a joke. You are getting married June 1st,
Correct.
and what I would like to do to everybody listening is set up your bachelor party through this podcast. So listen, everybody, very closely. I will get a room at like a local hotel, nothing fancy, like a DoubleTree, just some place with a pool.
Single tree, even.
Single tree. Maybe we find a single tree.
Maybe no tree.
Maybe there's
Doesn't make any difference. I don't care how many trees you get at the thing. It could be no trees.
We're getting the 11-tree motel.
Yep.
Okay. Motel 666. Doesn't matter to you. I will get you a room. You're getting married on a Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay, that's June 1st.
That's it.
So May 31st would be a Saturday. I will
Day
have a
before Sunday, yeah?
Yeah.
You're not good with math, but you're good with the days of the week, I'll tell you that.
Well, there's only 7 of them.
That's
I
right.
can count that. I can count Mickey Mantle High.
Good.
After Yogi Berra gets foggy.
Oh, boy.
So the day before, I'm going to throw you a bachelor party. Matty Boy will be there.
Yes, absolutely.
I will be there, and you will be there.
Yep.
That's what we know so far. But here's what I'm telling the listeners. You can come be on Uncle Dan, be in his bachelor party. No, here's some ground rules. And this is not a joke.
Yeah.
I'm getting a room, just someplace with a pool where we could swim. You do have to bring Uncle Dan a gift. You're going to have to tweet me at JMohr37, hashtag Dan's wedding. And you're going to have to come up with a good gift. It doesn't have to be something flashy or too expensive. Let's lay some ground rules out. No chicks. We're not into the hoochie mama business. We don't want strippers or like...
Damn.
or like people twerking. You don't want like people...
I don't even know what twerking is.
You and I'll have a separate one. Where
okay.
I'll
you
bring
and Matty
the
Boy
chicks.
can have a separate one. The one I'm throwing for you, the Mohr Stories podcast, Uncle Dan's bachelor party, hashtag Dan's wedding. No girls, and you guys can have a couple pops, but nobody showing up like wasted. I don't want people smoking like crystal meth and jumping in the pool and breaking their nose. It's never happened to anybody at this table.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Tweet me at JMohr37 and hashtag Dan's wedding, and you can win. How many people would you like me to select? 5?
Yeah, that's good.
Here's the thing. You got to get yourself to L.A.
Well, I'm already in L.A., so I don't have to get myself to L.A.
No, not
They have
you.
to get themselves
They,
to L.A. Okay.
the listeners.
All right.
It could be a gal. We can have gal
Sure,
listeners.
yeah. I mean, normally a bachelor party is
It's just
strictly
dudes.
men.
Yeah, but
So-
that's because there's like women twerking that Uncle Dan doesn't know what that is.
What is
Well,
twerking anyway?
I will.
Matty Boy, have
I
at
can definitely explain that, but I would like to say a bridesmaids party where there is nothing necessarily where there's
or a
nothing
hen party, as
a
they call
hen
it. in
party.
England.
There's nothing necessarily sexual going on, but there traditionally aren't men allowed. So, just thought I'd throw that out there. Twerking is when a woman, sometimes men, will vibrate their ass and genitalia at a high rate of speed, in a sexual manner to try to attract a mate of some sort.
Like baboons. Like a baboons have a big red ass.
Right.
That's from twerking.
It's a mating.
Baboons
All right,
twerk.
now I get it.
It's a
Since
mating
you brought
call.
in that baboon analogy. Now I
Yeah,
understand.
you see, you've been to the zoo. You've seen the baboon
That's
with the
right.
big red ass.
That's right.
That's because they twerked like
Those
up against a
monkey butts.
cactus. Monkey
Yep.
butts. We
Yep.
don't want any monkey butts at Uncle Dan's bachelor party.
They twerked against a cactus. Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, how'd you think they get those big red asses?
No, yeah, like
it's
it.
not because they used 1 ply. Instead, 2 ply. They twerk against a tree with the wrong kind of.
Yeah, no, I was with you.
So we're gonna have a bachelor party for Uncle Dan. Here are the ground rules. It's $20. You walk in the door at the 1 tree, double tree, no trees, wherever we decide to have it, and I will direct message whoever I choose to come to your bachelor party. I'll let you help me pick.
Okay.
At JMohr37, hashtag Dan's wedding. When you walk in the door, you got to have a nice gift. Doesn't have to be expensive because we're going to break down Dan's likes and dislikes and your things that you're good at. And I'll choose at random. Right when you walk in the door, you just have to hand the man a $20 bill. That's fair.
That's fair.
I mean, he's getting married. The least he could do is be flush with cash on his wedding day.
That's right.
Standing there in his rented tuxedo. Are you renting a tuxedo or are you going to buy it?
No, I'm renting one.
Going to rent
No
it?
sense buying it.
Why not?
Well, when will I use it again? I'll never use it again.
Your next marriage, 27 years from now.
Yeah. I'll never, ever use a tux for the rest of my life.
What about if I die and in my will it says everyone must be at tuxedos at my funeral?
Ooh,
You'll be dead.
that's
What's the
classy.
difference?
That's
Won't make any difference.
I'll know. I'll haunt you.
You just won't abide by it.
All right. Well, I'll rent one then too.
All right, but you said you would never wear one ever again.
Well, I'll make an exception when you kick the bucket. I'll rent the tux. How's that? In fact, you don't even have to ask. If you kick the bucket before me, I'll wear a tux.
You know what?
For the rest of your life.
Yeah. Every day.
Pajamas.
And when people go, why are you wearing a tuxedo to bed? You didn't hear that Jay died? Was it like his last wish? No. This is just how I'm honoring my nephew Jay.
That's just it.
So this is a real thing. So $20, you get yourself to LA. You have a $20 bill, you give it to Uncle Dan, and you can sit with me, Matty Boy, Uncle Dan in a hotel room, and it won't be awkward at all.
I don't think so.
We can go to room service, get some club sandwiches, well, then we can put sunscreen on each other and go in the pool and hang out in our swim
Oh boy,
trunks.
that sounds like fun. Maybe the hot tub.
I'll go. You know me, I love a good hot tub, but I always sit facing the jets. I always sit facing the jets, so I have the hot tub to myself. Yeah,
The New York Jets or the Jets in the hot tub?
the jets in the hot tub. Are we all stoned?
They're both underwater, so.
Oh
Yeah, I
my
know,
God, they both are
jeez.
taking on the water quickly.
It's true.
Matty's on fire tonight.
He is.
Matty's doing the Uncle Dan role tonight of
I
sniper.
literally just set myself on fire smoking.
All right, Uncle Dan. This is what I know you're good at. These are your discernible skills.
Yeah. I have some, huh?
You do. You're funny, but I don't know what people are going to bring you. Maybe like gag gifts.
Gag gifts would be good.
Like a joy buzzer.
Yeah. What's that?
When you shake someone's hand and it vibrates.
Oh, I love those. I love those. Those are one of my favorite joke house things.
Chinese
But they break. They buzz you about 10 times and they break. If you can find a one that's maybe does 20, 25 times, it would be good. Those joy buzzers.
What about a taser? What if somebody brings a taser?
That'd be good.
Tases your ass at a bachelor
You
party.
could joy buzz them with one hand and tase them with the other.
What if somebody comes in, twerks, and then the other person that brings the taser tases the twerking lady with the red baboon ass?
Well, that'd be fun.
That'd be good.
Fun. Yeah.
See, okay.
That was actually how twerking was invented.
How's that so?
Well, I saw an episode of Cops Reloaded recently, and a guy got shot, 2 taser guns, cops, and it was a woman, and she was on the street, and she just started violently shaking from the, and her, booty shaking a little bit. Twerking was born.
Twerking was born from
Wow,
a taser.
I didn't know that.
So
I learned 2 things: what twerking was and when it was born.
yeah.
Was born. It actually was a vaginal birth. Because what Matty left out of that story was one of those cops was pregnant and she hid it because you were kicked off the police force. Did they know you're pregnant?
Yeah.
Or twerk.
So they just said like, wow, she's really put on a lot of weight. And she was actually the person that tased the lady in the street.
Yeah.
And then as the lady was shaking her ass, the lady gave birth to another tiny lady.
Right.
A baby
Wow,
lady.
it's
baby
getting
lady.
It
bizarre.
was a breech birth, butt first, and that little
Forget
baby
about
lady.
the taser then.
Yeah, no taser. So
No
it was a
tasers.
breech birth, and the baby came out twerking its little baby bottom. So twerking was born, a vaginal birth. That's when tweaking was tweaking. I feel like we all just ate fucking hash brownies.
Might have had pizza. There were mushrooms on that pizza. Thought they looked a little funny.
So this is what we know you're good at, and I got this from your niece, my wife, the lovely Nicole Avery Cox. Uncle Dan's things that she remembers from her childhood that you're absolutely amazing at. Marco Polo.
I'm a very good Marco Polo
very
player.
good.
That's why we need to have
One
a
of
pool.
the best.
This is going to be the most homoerotic bachelor party ever.
It might be.
5 grown men in a pool. Uncle Dan holding $100 in 20s, going Marco with a bunch of dudes.
If you beat me, I'll give you a 20 back.
Don't say that.
Okay,
No.
Hold you to
forget
it.
that. Forget that then.
But we do need a guy named Marco and another guy named Polo, maybe to just rub us down with the oils before we start playing.
This is going to be the hottest bachelor party.
Yeah, it's
ever.
gonna be hot.
All
Man.
those a-holes to go to Vegas and get strippers and get like hookers and they get their knobs
that's
polished.
a dull. That's a-
douchebags.
Yeah, I know.
That's
those
like
jerks.
douchey.
Yeah.
This
Who
is
the
going to
fuck
be a
would do
real
that?
bachelor party where you're just in a pool.
We could have paint strippers at this party.
Paint
but,
strippers.
But no real strippers.
No, well, they're real paint strippers. It's
Yeah,
just
but then
5 dudes.
they don't take their clothes off to strip the paint.
at a day's end in
It's
the swimming
dangerous if you
pool
take your
playing
clothes off to strip paint.
Marco Polo with Uncle Dan. This is turning out to be the greatest idea of all time. This is Instagram
Oh, man.
legend.
I'm not sure you'll get anybody to come, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Oh,
This is going to drop Monday. We're putting this up right away.
bro.
Go on, Matty.
We're all going to come.
Okay, good. And my buddy Graves will be there too.
Well, that's the big surprise at the end.
And we're all going to show up.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the best man, by the way.
No,
yeah, I
nothing?
appreciate that. Thanks for that. Oh, I heard you, Matty. I'm sorry. I was on delay.
It's all right.
I was working on a Graves joke at the same time you were working on your joke. So you're great at Marco Polo.
Marco Polo.
That's what my wife told me. She spent her entire childhood, and you were tireless. You just would never quit.
She would never quit, so I would never quit.
Well, that's a good uncle.
She was
that's the kind of
a
good guy.
Marco Polo player, a maniac Marco Polo player. I'll tell you. When
What
she
are
was
the
like
different
7 or 8.
levels of Marco Polo players? Break it down for us. Because like in the Army, there's a private, corporal, sergeant, all the way up to general. Marco Polo, is maniac the highest level you could reach?
Yeah, maniac is someone that wants to play Marco Polo even when you're not in the pool. When you'll be walking down the street and wanting to play Marco Polo, and I'll say, Nick, we're not in the pool. So it doesn't make any difference to you. Marco, so I'd have to hide behind the mailbox. Polo, So it was like she's the biggest. She might even be better than me, but as a Marco Polo player. Matt's like coughing out a lung up there.
You crack him up. You're his uncle.
So Marco Polo is I'm very good at Marco Polo.
We are going to play Marco Polo.
On the dog.
So we'll play Marco Polo at your bachelor party.
Okay.
This is going to be it's really just like a bachelor party for 12-year-olds. The other thing.
10 to 12-year-olds.
12's the max, 10's the minimum.
Yeah.
You
pre-adolescence.
You love walkie-talkies.
Oh, yeah.
This is not a joke.
No. When I was a little kid, I loved it.
This is true.
If a guy down the street had walkie-talkies, you were his best friend until they broke. I'm telling you.
And what would you do after his walkie-talkies broke, Uncle Dan?
They'd flake them off. That's it.
You wouldn't buy the man batteries for his walkie-talkies?
Well, no. I mean, it's up to him to buy his own batteries. But guys, when I was growing up, guys had some of those they even had old World War II. This is back in the 50s, walkie-talkies. So, I mean, some of these things could go like, these walkie-talkies now, they go like, 20 feet. You're hiding behind you can hear the guy talking when you're on the walkie-talkie. Those walkie-talkies, you could be like half a mile away and still talking to the guy.
I love that Brian Regan bit when he talks about they named him walkie-talkie. Like some guy comes up with this incredible invention where he can talk like a mile away.
Yeah,
I call it a walkie-talkie.
It's a good bit.
All right. So you like walkie-talkies.
Love them.
You like playing Marco Polo.
Love it.
What are
I like playing Marco. Did you ever play Marco Polo with walkie-talkies? That's even better.
Okay, we're on to something. Waterproof walkie-talkies. Does that get somebody to the front of the line on your bachelor party?
Well, that might.
Here's the thing, too.
You could even play with 2 different pools. The guy could be down the street with a walkie-talkie.
at a triple tree.
Polo. Yeah.
You're at the double tree. He's at the triple
That's
tree.
That's right. He might be at the Ramada Inn.
Have a guy at the Burning Bush.
Burning Bush, forget it.
Forget it. Whoa.
Here's the thing. If anybody joins this contest and says they're bringing these gifts for Uncle Dan at the bachelor party, and you show up without these gifts,
oh no,
it's going to be the saddest day of Uncle Dan's life, and you will ruin his wedding. Hashtag Dan's wedding.
And I will ruin you.
Ooh, Matty boy ready to throw.
That's a threat.
Yeah. No, that's not a threat. That's a promise.
Okay.
That's right.
It's a threat and a promise.
What else do you like, Uncle Dan? What are some things people... Uncle Dan right now is petting my dog's stomach with his foot.
I like petting dogs' tummies with my foot.
I have to take a picture of this and post it right now.
Very good.
Tell us some of the things.
Astronomy.
Astronomy.
Right? You like astronomy?
I love astronomy.
Yeah, he loves astronomy. He loves the moon and planets. He's always going... tonight we get to see Jupiter. That's Jupiter right there. See Jupiter?
Does he
Most
say
of
it
the
like
time,
that,
I'm just pointing at something and saying,
I would see Jupiter there. Hey.
So what's somebody supposed to bring him a planet at his fucking bachelor party?
They fucking better.
Yeah. Well, they don't have to bring me a planet, but they can point out a couple planets, or maybe a star or Halley's Comet. Well, no, I don't think that's coming back for another 50, 60 years.
Well, you waited this long to get married. You never know.
Hey, what the heck? Maybe. Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right. So walkie-talkies, astronomy.
Cards. I like playing cards. I haven't played in a long time, but it'd be fun.
Ooh,
maybe
that's
some
perfect.
poker.
That's a great
maybe
idea.
Some Indian poker. Did you
There
ever
it
play
is.
Indian poker?
All right. You know what? I don't want to get into race.
No, this is like American Indian poker. You've played Indian
Actually,
poker.
you're talking American Indian.
American
you're not talking
Indian
race
poker.
at all because they're the original Americans.
That's true. That's
That's like complete non-racism.
And by the way, they found one of Columbus's ships.
They found one?
The Santa Maria. They just found it off the coast of Barbados.
How the fuck did they lose it?
Well, it ran up on a reef. Then don't you remember? Columbus only made it this far with like 2 ships.
Right.
He never made it here. He made it. He was like a complete card-carrying idiot.
Why? Where did he land?
And you said like
Jamaica or
in
something.
the Bahamas, and he thought he was in India. That's why they're called Indians.
You could easily make that mistake.
How?
When I went to the Bahamas, I thought I was in India too.
So walkie-talkies, astronomy. These are good gifts. What are some absolute no-nos for Dan's bachelor party?
Oh, man.
And if you're listening to this, we're going to have a bachelor party
no
for
food
Uncle.
gifts.
No food.
Oh, pistachio nuts. I do like pistachio nuts, but that's the only food gift.
Okay. So if a guy, it doesn't even have to be, it could be random. Like some guy could say like, hey, I got you like a $15,000 telescope. And another guy goes, I just bought a bag of pistachios off a Mexican on my drive here.
That's a hard choice.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I might take the pistachios.
Over the $6,000 telescope?
You said $15,000. You said, no, you just lowered the price by $9,000. So I can't even trust you. First you say it's 15, then you say it's 6. Next thing I know, it'll be one of those little play telescopes where the knobs fall off when you turn them.
Okay. What's the thing that called where you look over like a wall?
Periscope.
Yeah.
Periscope.
What about a waterproof periscope?
A periscope is great. We used to make them out of old toilet paper things and mirrors, where you put the hole in there and everything, but a real one would be great.
That's how you look at like a solar eclipse, right? Yeah. You use one of those periscopes.
Solar eclipse, spy on your neighbors. You look over the wall.
Yeah.
Well, it's a similar.
You gotta have like a special mirror for a solar eclipse or something, don't you?
I think you
look at it in a bucket of water. That's how you do it. What? You put the water there and you hold it right, and then you look at it in the bucket of water or something.
I never
Look it up. I bet you anyone says something about it.
Look it up.
Look it up right now. Look it up. Looking at a solar eclipse in a bucket of water.
I think it involves cardboard, and you cut a little hole out of the cardboard, and you see the sun shrink on the other piece of cardboard.
When I was growing up, we had this kid, Billy Stockwell, and he looked at the sun through a telescope with, straight on, and then he ruined his eyes, and his nickname was Sunbeam after that. That's a true story.
Fucking Sunbeam.
Yeah.
What up, Sunbeam?
Great guy, but couldn't
Shout
see
out,
worth it.
Sunbeam.
Goddamn, I'll tell you that.
You've had a lot of great jobs. We know you worked at Schneider's Dressed Meats.
Yeah, Snyder's Dressed Beef.
You dressed beef.
Yeah.
And your job there entailed slaughtering cows.
Yeah, no slaughtered cows.
No, we don't want people. I'm just letting the listener know a little.
Please.
Hold on a second. For real. If a guy shows up, if a guy tweets me and shows me a photo of a cow that he's going to slaughter and bring to your bachelor party at a double tree or a single tree, that guy goes right to the front of the line, Uncle Dan. Don't lie.
All right, maybe he goes to the front of the line, but what are we going to do with all that meat?
Throw it in the
those
pool.
Little refrigerators. You can't. Even, those little. Yeah, we could
throw it in the pool and walkie-talkie as we're hiding from the hotel security.
You'd have to hide from the hotel security.
Yeah.
Does meat sink like that?
That's a fucking beautiful quote.
Does meat sink?
Does meat sink?
You'd have to hide from hotel security.
It's easy.
And
I was in security for
Indians.
years. It's easy hiding from those guys. I'll tell you.
All right, so you were a slaughterhouse guy.
Yeah, for about 15 minutes.
Why? What do you mean? Why? You quit?
They wanted me to be the guy that shot him in the head with a 22, and then someone, then you slit their throats and catch their blood in this like big picture. And I kind of told them when I got the job, oh, yeah, I'm a big hunter. I made it seem like I was hunting like every weekend and killing things, and I'd never hunted in my life. I thought they were going to give me a job like rapping shit or something. But then when they brought me out there, the guy did a few of them, shot some cows, and they were slitting the throat. And then we took a break, and that was it. I was gone. I was out of there so fast, you wouldn't believe it.
Did you get paid?
No, I never got my check, but my buddy who got the job with me about an hour before that had got his foot slammed in a door, and he collected workers' comp for like 6 months.
So he never had to kill a cow either.
He never had to kill a cow, but he didn't even have to work. Although he got like 25 stitches in his ankle, but
that's work. The healing process is a little bit of work, right?
It was worth it, believe me.
You work security at the Oscars.
Yeah.
This is not a joke.
Yeah,
Uncle
I was an
Dan's-
Oscar security guy for years.
And you had your own security company. Can we say the name of it on the air?
Well, I didn't have my own company, my own security company, but I worked for many security companies.
What is it about you that makes people want to hire you as a security guy? Because you seem pretty
Good liar. Very good liar.
Liar.
Well, they would ask me questions, and I had it all down what to answer. And I looked like in those days I looked like a cop. People used to always think I was a cop. I had short hair, and for some reason or other, people used to think I was a cop. I remember I came out here the first week I was in California. I was staying at this place, and I went to this bar in Reseda, or was it Van Nuys? This guy came over to me and says, "You're making those guys over there nervous." I said, "What am I doing? I'm just sitting there drinking." He says, "They think you're a cop." I said, I'm not a cop, for crying out loud. I said, what are you doing coming over here? And, I'm saying to myself, if they're nervous and you're coming over and saying I'm a cop, what would happen if I really was a cop? Really, it was so
You
stupid.
go investigate those guys immediately.
No, they were drug dealers.
If you were a
anyway.
cop, I mean.
If I was a cop, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was only a security guy who could give a shit about anything, basically. So I did that for years.
Is that a good gig, security?
Kind of. But, it's just like everything else. It's got its ups and downs. I'm glad I'm out of it. I've been out of it for years. I've been in the appraisal business since 2003.
You appraise homes now.
That's exactly right.
All over California.
All over Southern California. LA
Good neighborhoods,
mostly.
bad neighborhoods.
All of them. From Malibu to Compton.
City of Compton.
City of Compton.
You ever go to a person's house and they were a hoarder?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I was in one the other day. A woman in Chatsworth. She used to work for, I think it was Disney or something, and she had she had more Mickey Mouse stuff and stuff like that. But it was a 4-bedroom house, and 3 of the bedrooms were completely full. You couldn't go in. You could only open the doors.
Just Mickey Mouse like dolls or
everything Disney you could possibly, but it wasn't just that. I mean, there was bags full of stuff. She was a hoard, like that show Hoarding. They could have come into, her living room. You couldn't, she had pathways, so that you could walk through the living room. The kitchen wasn't too bad, but everything else was full, chock full.
What about the bathrooms?
Well, bathrooms were, there was one bathroom and there was, it wasn't too bad, but the other one was okay. But like I said, the bedrooms were full of, in the garage was chock full of stuff. So much stuff you couldn't believe it.
Matt Paxton from Hoarders has been on this podcast 2 times.
Really?
And he said,
I like that show.
He's a great guy too. He said he said you'd be amazed. Hoarders, the number one thing you find, dildos.
Really?
He said every hoarder house, there's like 60 dildos.
Really?
Yeah, no joke.
Wow.
You could at Clutter Cleaner. You can ask him yourself. It's true.
I know. I believe you.
Why?
I don't know why. Surprising.
And he said that's like worse than picking up like people that shit in bags next to the broken toilet for the last 8 years. When you go under their bed and you got to clean out like the dildo
I don't know.
collection.
If I had a choice, I'd pick a dildo out before I'd pick up a bag of shit from 6 years ago. I don't know.
You ever shit in a bag?
No, never shit in a bag. You ever shit in a plate, Matt?
Wait, what?
You don't know this story?
No.
Oh, God.
Matt shit on a plate one time when he was a much younger man.
I can explain it, I think. I was young, so I don't remember it completely, but I was with my mom, and we were at Disneyland. And we were at Disneyland. We were at the Disneyland Hotel, and for some reason, our toilet wasn't working. We had asked the maintenance guys, can you come up fix the toilet? Can you come up fix the toilet? And they hadn't come for a couple hours. And I really, really had to go. And I'm like, Mom, I got to go.
Hold on. Why don't you just go down to the lobby?
Either she didn't want to go down to the lobby, or I couldn't make it to the lobby. Some reason I didn't go down to the lobby in that time that we were waiting.
How old were you?
I must have been like 10, 9, 8, between 8 and 8. And
just not old enough to go to Uncle Dan's bachelor
because I picked you up from that hotel that time or something.
Did you? I don't remember.
I drove you home.
But so my best logic was that we had ordered room service earlier, and there was a the rolling thing. I grabbed a plate, about normal size plate, and I put it in the sink of the hotel bathroom, and I sat on the counter, hanging my butthole over the sink. A makeshift toilet.
Yeah,
and I had the plate under my butt.
Just put it in the toilet.
I should have.
I always thought that. I never get to think.
Put the plate in the toilet?
Yeah.
Why can't you just shit in a broken toilet?
Well, I didn't want to, be rude. I didn't want to be rude, so I shit on a plate. Anyways, so I shit on the plate, but I did make sure that as I was doing it, I was twisting the plate counterclockwise so that I made like a perfect little soft serve with a tip on, pointing up, like perfect soft serve.
One boy, one plate.
One boy, one plate. And I came in and I handed it to my mom. And I said, here you go.
What did you wipe your ass with?
I don't recall. But probably hand. There was toilet paper. I'm sure I just used the toilet paper.
And what did your mom do when you handed her a plate with perfect shit?
Fucking cracked up.
She laughed.
Yeah, she loved it. She loved it. And I knew she would, and that's kind of why I did it.
She broke her ankle or something that same trip, wasn't it?
That was a different trip.
But
yeah.
I would break my ankle running away from shit on a plate.
Yeah. But it was nice. I'm telling you, the fucking form was perfect.
I'm amazed they got greeted. Like my 2 boys, if one of them handed me a plate of shit, I would go like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Henry?
Yeah.
I would go absolutely insane. Like I would send them away.
Yeah. Well, I was praised for it.
You get the big applause.
Yeah.
So would you like shit on a plate at your bachelor party? Uncle
No.
Dan?
Fake shit. Joke gifts. I used to love the fake puke and fake shit.
There you go.
right.
Fake puke was good, but what you always had to do was pour a little water on it. Remember that?
Ooh, no, I did not know that trick.
You pour a little water on it, makes it look a lot more realistic.
Slimy. Yeah.
Maybe this guy can go to your bachelor party. His name is Daniel Greco. Go to jmore.com, click the Amazon banner. You know that. If you're going to buy anything on Amazon, instead of having an Amazon tab on your computer, have jmore.com tab on your computer. And when you want to go to Amazon, go to jmore.com, click the Amazon banner, and you can shop through the Amazon banner on my website. And we get money to send my kids to college that way. Daniel Greco, dig this, Uncle Dan. Speaking of fancy stuff, dear JJ, love the podcast. Just ordered the following from Amazon through jmore.com to give the Mohr boys a taste of the college life. 1 3 to 6 inch wool polishing bonnet.
What's that?
Oh, I was asking you.
A wool polishing bonnet?
All right. Parentheses to get a high gloss shine on my car.
Oh, okay. Now I know what it is. But does he put it on his head and rub his head all over the car?
Probably not.
Well, that's what a bonnet is, isn't it?
Two Jackberry giant high capacity portable battery backups. Parentheses so I can listen to multiple episodes of Mohr Stories on my phone using the Mohr Stories app.
Smart man.
This guy's awesome. 3, 1 Beck diploma shoe polisher because I am a fancy man and I wear fancy shoes.
What was it? A Beck?
Beck.
A Beck diploma?
That's what it's called. Beck diploma shoe polisher. Thanks for the hours of free entertainment, Dan Greco. Dan Greco, thank you for using the Amazon banner at jmore.com. Anybody out there, if you're going to Amazon, even if it's just for an Amazon gift card, go to jmore.com, click that Amazon banner, and that money's direct deposit to my kids' college fund. Let's hear from our sponsors, and we're going to hear more from Uncle Dan right after this. Hang in there. BarkBox is a monthly box of treats, toys, and goodies that'll drive your pup bonkers. Delivered right to your doggy door. And if you sign up at barkbox.com/more, M-O-H-R, you will save 20% on a new pup subscription. Each monthly BarkBox contains 4 to 6 awesome full-size products, including everything from innovative toys and gadgets, all natural, healthy treats, and more. Rest assured, BarkBox would never send anything that hasn't been tested by their office pups. BarkBox is committed to the cause of homeless dogs. As a rule, they give 10% of their revenue to local rescues and shelters across the United States and Canada. In 2013, BarkBox donated over $150,000 to pups in need through a number of innovative social good campaigns. Help BarkBox give $1 million in 2014. You know how you do that? You go to barkbox.com/more, M-O-H-R. Save 20% on your new pupscription by visiting barkbox.com/more. Again, that's barkbox.com/MOHR to save 20%. Now, Uncle Dan, you did security. We covered that. But how do you wind up doing security at the Oscars? That's like a big leap from like night watchman at a parking garage. All of a sudden, it's like, from the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles, Dan Hoytt on security.
Well, actually, our company did it. So I worked for the company, and I used to do the media tent where everybody went after they won their Oscars. They'd come up and they'd go through the print media and radio, take TV and all that. It was pretty fun. Matt, your mother came and worked the Oscars with me one year.
I remember that. She did security.
That. Yeah, I got
Terry,
her.
Big Mama. By the way,
we got her a tux, and she followed me around as my assistant that night.
Hey, you know what? I think she still might have it.
Hey,
might not have to rent one.
Well, I don't know. I've gained a few pounds since then. It was a pretty sharp looking
your
tux.
Mom did assistant security work when he bullshitted his way into doing security work, and they both wound up at the Oscars.
Oh yeah, I took Terry along with me. She was my assistant wherever I went. She went.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, she had a tux and everything. The little pin.
She doesn't do it anymore.
Huh?
Who's your assistant now?
No, I don't have an assistant now. Laurie, my wife, my future wife is my assistant now.
Nice job, buddy.
And Aunt Chris. She's my assistant sometimes.
At home appraising?
At home appraising.
Sweet Christy.
She answers the phones for me sometimes.
Hello. Good. Sweet Chris.
Love her.
So, okay, you're doing the media tent at the Oscars. And by the way, I got to point out to everybody listening that loves, Big Mama Got It All. Big Mama got it all once and for all. If you guys want to know where it came from, Matty's mom, TK, Terry Cox. When Matty was a child and wanted to wrestle her, they called it Rec House.
Rec House is what it was
They
called.
had wrestling names. And Terry's wrestling name to her child, she was Big Mama Got It All.
Yeah.
That was her You knew this already, Uncle Dan.
No, I never. This is the first time I've heard this.
Are you serious?
Really? I knew the name came from her, but I didn't realize it was a wrestling name.
Yeah. Matty would be,
I thought her wrestling name was Chief J Strongbow, to tell you the truth.
No, that was a real guy.
Yeah.
That was a real guy, and he had a brother,
Don't
Jules.
piss him off when he used to do that dance.
He's dead now. He died.
Did he?
Joe Scarpa. He was from Philadelphia. He was an Italian guy. We've covered this in this podcast.
I knew he wasn't a real Indian.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you like to be Joe?
Why'd you play poker with him?
No, you could just tell. That was a fake Indian dance. That was a fake Indian dance.
Let's call back, Matty boy. Here's the thing. Joe Scarpa was Chief J Strongbow, and he was an Italian guy from Philly. And I always wondered, might have been said on this podcast, like I wonder if like the Italian guys in the neighborhood like, hey Joe, what are you gonna do, you little Indian act tonight?
Hey, jump around a little bit.
He's dragging like a giant headdress out to his Camaro in South Philly. And there goes Joe. Hey Joe, where you headed?
Hey.
Nowhere. Just going to take my suit to the dry cleaner. Hey, what is that, a fucking headdress?
Hey, you got little fucking feathers over there. Look at this guy with his fucking tassel pants.
I think Joe's half a fag. He's walking around with
This
feathers.
fucking
And then he
prick.
goes, for your information, I'm Chief J Strongbow.
Oh, hey.
Ooh.
Big
Hey,
chief.
do you know Jules? You know your brother Jules? You
Hey.
know him?
I'll kick you in your jewels.
Jules Strongbow and Jay.
Hey.
They did a war dance. Can you do the little dance now, Joe Scarpa?
Now, we could have a Chief J Strongbow war dance competition at the bachelor
All right.
party, too. Whoever does the best war dance.
You open an interesting thing here.
First of all, you got to finish that story, too, about
So,
Big
Matt,
Mama.
what would one of your wrestling names be as a kid?
I don't remember. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think I would
Probably Tupac.
I would rotate. I would rotate. You know, whatever the hell came to mind.
And then your mom was always Big Mama Got It All.
Right. Yeah.
So when I was on Corolla's podcast, and he said, I always wish I had like a huge woman that just defended me, because his mom, he said, was always like completely indifferent, like, I don't know. He goes, and I just went like a Big Mama Got It All. So I got to give full credit to Terry Cox for coming up with that. That's okay. You getting married? Are you getting married, Dan? What's your wife gonna be? Huh?
Your sister.
What? My sister? My sister died in Vietnam. She lost her legs. Lost her legs and bled out. You know my sister?
Your sister.
My sister died in Vietnam. My sister's name is Lisa.
Lisa.
Lisa. Lisa. She died in Vietnam. Got her legs
Lisa.
blown off. You didn't know? I told you about that. She's a veteran. She's on the Vietnam Wall.
Did she used to do did it used to sound like that too when Terry did it? No. You kind of, you embellished
made
a
it
little
my
bit.
own thing.
Okay.
What about this? You said Chief J Strongbow war dance competition at your bachelor party. # Dan's wedding if you want to go. We're not kidding. You got to get yourself here. Santa Monica, California. Got to get yourself here. But there will be a room. You can put your stuff down. We can swim. We can goof off. You can have a couple beers with Uncle Dan. I'll drive Uncle Dan home. Or Matty will. One of us will.
Sure. Yeah.
And we'll order room service. We'll take care of it. We'll just have a good time. And you get to meet me, Matty Boy, Uncle Dan. We'll have a ball. But here, you opened up something interesting. What if it's a costume contest?
Oh.
What if like somebody
good,
comes as like
man.
actual Chewbacca?
Any costume.
What's your favorite type of costume, Uncle Dan?
Let me think.
Everything's on the table,
My
Twitter
mother
people.
used to be a great costume. Every Halloween, she used to like spend weeks making our Halloween costumes, everything. My favorite probably would be a vampire. You know, I mean, I love a good vampire costume.
Vampire bachelor party. This is going to be the gayest thing.
I don't know if we should do
A
that.
bunch of guys in a pool dressed as vampires.
Yeah.
I want to suck you
Hello.
and maybe your blood.
Do you want to suck each other's blood? Now's the time on Sprockets when we dance. Let's get loud. Did you see the fake vomit?
Oh, it's
The trick is to put water on top, make it look wet.
Make it look wet. Make it look real.
I don't know why my Dracula turned into fucking Balky from Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, and I jumped right on to
I put water on it, make it look. So, all right. So anything's on the table for your bachelor party.
Anything's on the table or off the table.
Gift-wise, what's something you want? Let me explain to the listener, my dear listener.
Something
looking at
handmade,
a man that's
a
wearing
handmade
his,
gift. would
You
be
don't
good.
mean that. Listen, you could score like a nice iPhone or something out of this. Don't come with that like, hey, I made you a comb holder and camp bullshit.
Oh, that'd be nice with my name on it. With my name on it.
Put your name on it. Dan, stop. I'm trying to get you something nice.
Okay.
Fucking plasma.
Yeah, nice TV.
Plasma TV would be nice.
Let me tell you, iPhone or plasma? What's more important? iPhone.
I don't know. I've got an iPad and
Your phone's like dog shit, though.
Huh? My phone.
On a plate.
Hey, come on, look at this. This is a nice phone.
Yeah, no, that's good. He needs a TV.
I don't want a smartphone.
You need
because
a TV.
They said they can track when you get a smartphone, they can track everything about you, where you are, this, that, and everything.
It's next to my nuts all day. All they know is where my nuts are all day.
Well, let me put it this way: if they know where your nuts are, they know where the rest of you are most of the time. Let me tell you, I don't know. But my smartphone would be nice.
Thanks,
I guess.
Rodney. Let me tell you. Hey. What's like a gift you would actually want and use? Let's think about that, Uncle
Okay,
Dan.
I have to think about it because I'm a guy that I'm not a real materialistic person.
So I'm going to go over these tweets with you, and they're going to start. This airs Monday.
Okay.
So, like Monday night, you guys better start tweeting early and often if you want to come to Uncle Dan's bachelor party. Now, it sounds kind of dumb or it sounds amazing, depending on the type of Mohr Stories listener you are. There might be just 8 of us sitting around at like a residence inn
with vampire costumes on, staring at each other. That would be embarrassing.
Doing more dances.
Yeah. I mean, you could make it look, you could film it and make it look a lot better than it really was.
Oh, my Instagram account's going to explode. Matty is laughing so hard he spit out his Red Bull.
Don't spit it on the computer.
If you want to see photos of Uncle Dan on Instagram, it's JMohr Sports, Instagram.com/JMohr Sports. I'll take a photo of you tonight in your, by the way, I like that, put your name on a t-shirt.
I like the shirt. What's this made out of? Some nice synthetic material. It's really nice.
Probably cotton.
I don't think
a cotton
so.
blend.
Might be a cotton blend.
So if you want any kind of Jay Mohr Sports or Mohr Stories podcast t-shirts, that's all up at jmohr.com. So are my stand-up dates. July 18th, I'm at Cincinnati at the Taft Theater. September 20th, Tampa. I don't know if it's too early to get your tickets left, but I'm at Ferguson Hall at the Straz Center.
Man, they named it after you?
They sure did, John Ferguson Cox Moore. And we are already like really pounding out the tickets. I'm fired up about it. And of course, Las Vegas, South Point Casino, June 20, June 21, June 22nd with the great Daryl Wright.
Where's the South Point Casino? What's that near?
It's north. It's off the strip. It's north. It's great. It's like its own little entity.
Oh, I
love it. It's a really fun place to do stand-up. It's great. And crab legs? Oh,
when I first got engaged to Laurie, we used to go to Vegas once a month, once every 2 or 3 weeks. She worked for a company called Las Vegas Tours, where they'd fly the high rollers up, they'd gamble.
You mean
and
when
then
you first got engaged 27 years ago?
Yeah, they would. Her job was. That's how I met her. She worked at Las Vegas Tours, and I worked in security downstairs. But they would fly the high rollers up. This was before the car, the computer cards, and they would fly them up, at 8 in the morning. They'd gamble for 5 or 6 hours, and then fly them back. The guy, they wouldn't even know, their wives and stuff wouldn't even know they had gone gambling the whole day and stuff. But it was great for them. But we stayed we'd get comped at Tropicana and everything. It was great.
Was George Wallace performing there even then?
Yeah, he was.
I'd be thinking. Wait, what were you? You were doing security in Las Vegas?
No. I was doing security. My office was in Reseda, and Laurie's office was in Reseda in this little building, 18645 Reseda Boulevard. Anyway,
those are the dimensions.
Yeah. I was downstairs and she was upstairs. So I met Laurie. She was coming back from the burrito factory with 2 mucho macho burritos, one for her and one for her mother who worked there too. And I was going there.
Sounds hot.
And it was love at first sight.
You just saw a blonde walking down Reseda Boulevard holding burritos.
Holding 2 big giant burritos.
And you're like, that's the girl.
I knew right then she was the one.
This is the best.
In fact, that's a joke, but I did know right then that she was the one.
Really?
But,
You knew right away the moment you saw her?
Within probably a minute.
Really?
Yeah. She was busting my balls. She had talked, I had come out from the East Coast and taken over this office, and she kind of, they were all talking about me and, badmouth me behind my back. All the guys, that I was coming into the office because they knew I would clean house a little bit. So she was busting my balls about a couple of guys in the office that had told their stuff and everything. So,
like, what kind of stuff did they tell you?
She said
you?
This guy Fred said that, blah blah. I can't remember what she said, and I got real defensive about it.
He said you had a forked tongue.
He said, you speak with forked tongue. I said, no, that's Chief Jay Strongbow, not me.
I like the callback. Even Dan's getting in on the action. If you want to be on Uncle Dan's bachelor party, hashtag the tweet Dan's wedding, and maybe you can actually think of a really like nice gift for Uncle Dan. And I got to tell the listeners, Uncle Dan has had every job in the world. He's almost slaughtered cows. He's done security, home appraisals. You are probably the kindest human being I've ever met in my life.
Thank you.
And that's not even a joke.
I second that, absolutely.
I mean, absolutely radiate kindness.
I don't know about radiate.
No, all right. You have a dull hum.
Dull hum is pretty good, yeah.
Dull hum. Yeah.
You're an incredible man, and you are the best fucking uncle anybody could ask for.
Language. My God.
Well, I'm giving a compliment.
Kid shits on a plate. Well, what happened to the plate with shit on? Did you give it back in the room service tray and wheel it into the hall?
No, I think I left. I think we left it there for the whole trip. We put it out on the balcony, let it dry.
They put it in the freezer.
Because it was funny.
Took some photos. Yeah,
it is a funny story.
That's the kind of parents I had.
Isn't it a movie with the fat boys in it? Isn't that how that went down?
Your dad never would have had your shit on the plate.
That's right. That's the kind of mothering I had.
Terry was a little more.
Just shit on the plate. You're all right.
Exactly.
That's fine.
I think the next trip is when Terry broke her ankle, and we had to come up and get it. We had to wheel her down to the lobby on the luggage cart or something. That was a horror show.
Why is it humiliating? If somebody's hurt, they're hurt.
Well,
she was trying to jump over some ropes or something.
I was a kid.
She was trying to jump vault over.
We're at medieval times. All right.
Yeah.
And we're in the back row, very back row, like the worst fucking seats possible. And there's like a 6-foot drop off behind us from the back of our chairs, and there's
a moat,
like a moat, but without the water. And the show had ended, people were leaving, and I didn't want to wait for everybody to walk out and fucking the procession.
You were impatient?
I was impatient.
That seems so odd.
Yeah.
And so, being the impatient child that I was, I hopped the rail and I jumped over and I stood there and I was going to wait for my mother to walk around and come meet me. She thought it was a good idea, and she thought that she had the capabilities of also jumping over this pole and jumping down the 6 feet behind the chairs. She tried it, attempted it, broke her ankle in the process.
How old were you?
I was young. I think this was,
and she probably could have jumped it. She just landed. Terry was like,
she was athletic,
very athletic.
Yeah. I think this was before the shit plate. I think I was younger. And the security helped us to her car. She couldn't drive. She had to drive with her left foot or some shit. And then when we got to the hotel, she couldn't walk. So I had to go into the hotel very young. I was probably like 6 or 7 years old.
She should have just put her foot on a plate.
Could have done that.
They were going to, but some asshole shit on it.
That's right. She's, what is this squishy thing on my plate?
Keep your foot elevated. Put a plate up on the pillow. I can't. My son
Sorry. We don't have any plates left.
So I went and I grabbed a fucking luggage cart. I rolled it out to the car.
Why didn't you ask for a wheelchair?
They didn't have a wheelchair.
That's against the law. Oh,
not
back
in those
then.
days. Not in those days.
So, you did
nothing. So I put her on the luggage cart and I rolled it in the hotel. And
those things don't run right. They never go in a straight line. People like hack comics will always be like, ever get the shopping cart with the funny wheel in the front? It's like, no.
Yeah, go to the dollar store and see what happens. They have no wheels in the front for crying out loud.
The dollar store? You just put it in a crate and push it across the floor. But like a luggage cart for real in a hotel, and I stay in a hotel for a living, obviously doing stand-up comedy. Like those things, just getting them to the elevator, it's like herding cats.
Yeah.
They got to put the wheels in the front.
Herding Barry cats.
Yeah.
Man. You want me to go in the elevator? What did I do?
Anyway,
I remember most of the wheels spin all the way around.
What happened that time? Either I had to come and get you, or I had to come and get her. I can't remember what.
Well, I would assume both. If
Yeah,
he was
probably.
6.
No, I don't think so. I think.
Why don't you tell the story about when you took him out into a corn maze?
Well, he blames me for this thing, but we got lost in this corn maze. So
how old were you, Matt?
It was like 4, 3 or 4.
So you took a
something like
3-year-old
that.
into a corn maze and you got lost, and you're saying he blames me for it.
Well, we cheated. We kind of like cut through the hedges and stuff like that, and made our way out.
I think there was a line to get into the corn maze.
Was it?
And I again was too impatient.
Right.
And so I said, Dan, come on, uncle. Let's go this way. And so they give you like a set of instructions about you're supposed to go to this flag and this flag and this flag.
Too long.
And I'm like, fuck that. And Dan was with me. He's like, fuck that. We're not going to listen to it. So
I didn't say that. It was only 4. I think I said, the heck with that.
Right. So we walked in without any
bollocks.
We walked in without any plans.
And
Go ahead.
Matt was, I'm not patient either. And Matt was way less patient than me. So he's running through the hedges, going back and forth.
The stories I hear about Matt as a child it was like having like a bat on a leash.
Oh, Matt, Matt was a wild man.
Like, there's like when you think about like that kid's fucking wild, then like multiply it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was a lunatic.
When Matt used to come over, you'd have to have like 9 events planned. Because you knew it was only going to last about 5 minutes on one, 5 minutes on the other. Remember that dance you did with belly round the whatever it was?
I'm sorry, what now?
Oh, yeah. Belly up to the bar, boys.
Terry would start singing, I can't remember this song, and Matt would come out like a wild man from around the corner, jumping around. He was 3, and jumping up in the air and like grabbing onto the table and flipping. And then at one time, he got in a mood, so he sat in the kitchen and wasn't going to come out. So I said, start singing, Terry. So she started singing. I started jumping up in the air and jumping all around. And all of a sudden, Matt comes shooting out of the kitchen. Like, I just saw this little thing come by me, and we're both doing belly around the bar, boys.
What is belly around the bar, boys?
It was this old thing at Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
And it was a show that they would put on. It was like, you go and you sit down.
Oh, I've heard about this. And you had to do the entire freaking show.
Thing,
and the whole family had like a part. In your immediate household.
Yeah. My sister played a role.
What was the song?
My father was never involved in any of this.
No, he was belly around the bar.
Doing
very important things.
Yeah, literally. We're not joking.
Yeah, no.
There's some thing that I forget what it was that your sister tells me that you had to do as a kid, a real long dance number, but you only wanted to go like, whoa, whoa, whoa in the middle. So like the whole family had to sing like this entire routine. Just so you could hit like the break.
Yeah.
Matt had a face like you knew what I was talking about. It just goes, yeah. Like I was completely right.
I don't remember that one.
I thought you were going to shut me down. You're like, yeah, I do remember something like that.
Something to that effect. No, yeah. Fuck, I don't remember what it was.
It was something long. It was a Disney song. And you wanted to do like, come on, boys, like in the middle. And everyone had to do the entire song.
I think that's Belly Up to the Bar Boys. I'm pretty sure because that was obsessed. I was fucking obsessed.
Oh, I was
obsessed with doing this fucking thing.
It was
Is
so
it funny.
funny.
And sing sad song.
They're different. They're different.
You want to get into sad song?
Go ahead, take a crack at it.
Matty, do you know about this?
I don't know.
Nick has a real pretty singing voice, and Matty would be in his crib. This speaks volumes to you, Matty.
Okay.
And how your personality, human beingness.
Yeah.
There was some song that Nick would sing, and for some reason it made Matt cry. He was 3, Meredith's age, in a crib. And he would go, Sissy. And she'd come in and he'd go, sing sad song. And she'd go, no, not again. And she would sing the song. And he would fucking bawl and start crying in his crib, standing up, holding the bones, crying. And she'd be like, okay, go to bed. He'd go, no, sing sad song again, sissy. Sing sad song. Please. And she would sing it again. It was some song that made him cry.
Boy.
And that song. Oh, God. It would be great if I had a funny joke for what song
I thought you had one.
I had like.
I was going to take a whack at it.
I was going to go all the way back to twerking.
Yeah.
Let pussy be twerking.
That made me
sing sad song, sissy.
It was sad.
I never heard that one.
You never heard
Shake it
that
like
one?
a sow, shake it, shake it like a sow, shake it, shake it.
Yeah, you can imagine Sissy singing that song. She's probably singing your Sondheim lyrics for crying out loud.
Yeah.
All right. To make a big deal out of it. Uncle Dan's having a bachelor party.
Right.
May 31st.
May 31st.
Are there 31 days in May?
30 days
right.
in September,
I'll check the
April,
calendar,
June, and
but
November.
Matty's doing something that he learned in first grade.
31, I think.
I am doing it.
Matty literally was counting out the days of the month on his
30
hand.
days says September, April, June,
30.
and November.
It's
All the
30.
rest of 31.
All right.
It's 30.
No.
It's 31.
Friday's May 30th.
Saturday's May 31st.
No, it's the 30th, right? June.
Friday, May 30th. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, so Saturday will be May 31st, and Sunday's June 1st. The poem, 30 days says September, April, June, and
What are you
November.
doing with your knuckles?
Some shit that I learned that obviously the fucking teacher fucked me over on.
What's
Jesus
he doing?
Christ. When is his bet? You're getting married
The first Sunday, the first.
But here's
Saturday is the
but
31st.
hold on, there's
no
a
matter
problem.
what you guys say. What?
June 1st isn't in my calendar.
Are you looking in the right year?
No. I skipped it.
See, look,
My calendar goes from May 30th to June 2nd on this iPhone.
what does it say there? June, bottom there is the 30th. June.
Yeah, but he's getting married in June 1st.
First. Right, but you asked how many you asked how many days
But
were
look,
in June.
June 1st doesn't exist on that
No,
calendar.
May. How many days in May?
It doesn't matter if there's no June 1st. Your wedding's not going to happen.
You mean they've taken the 1st of
See what
June
I'm talking about,
away?
Matty?
Yeah, I see it.
On the iPhone calendar, everybody listening right now thinks we're complete assholes. But no, kiss our ass. Look at your iPhone. Look at May, okay? You're listening to this on the 19th if it's Monday. And then...
The weekends are grayed out, basically.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what it is.
So I was right. The 31st. Kiss my ass.
May 31st.
Yeah. That's
You
Uncle
need one of
Dan's.
those little calendars you put in your wallet. You don't have to fart around with those things.
I need a wall calendar with kittens on it that say like Mondays are a bummer. I can't believe it's only Wednesday. Thursday, looking good.
Cat calendars. I like cat calendars.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
So far, we got
Cat videos, too.
We got cat calendaring. We got
Cat
guys
calendaring.
dressed as Dracula in a pool with underwater walkie-talkies and periscopes
Periscopes.
playing Marco Polo with cat calendars.
Yeah, the cops will definitely be called.
They can be called because we know Matty
It's
knows
not
how to get us
illegal.
out of there on a luggage rack.
That's right.
And we'll all just go, whichever one of you didn't bring your $20 for Uncle Dan, we'll go, that guy shit on a plate.
It was that fucking guy right there. It was him.
So, if you guys want to go to Uncle Dan's bachelor party, hashtag Dan's wedding, $20 to get in. I'm not kidding. You come out, just get yourselves to California, and we're going to have a nice intimate get-together. I'll pay for your food.
What happens to the hotel room after it's all over?
Sissy was telling me maybe you switch out like to their credit cards and they can just stay over the night
they
if
can
they
just
come, if
party
they come from
together.
like way out of town.
Yeah.
If you guys are like flying in from like Michigan to be a part of Uncle Dan's weird bachelor party,
Right.
then we let you keep the room. But I'm gonna go down to the front desk and make sure my you know they got American Express Platinum.
Mm-hmm.
I got the new one,
What is it?
Copper.
Really?
You can't even play with that, dude.
American Express Copper?
Yeah, straight up.
Damn.
Named after the rabbit.
Say what?
So, Uncle Dan, you like walkie-talkies, Marco Polo, cat
Periscopes.
calendars, periscopes, costumes,
Trick gifts, too. I like
trick gag gifts,
Gag gifts.
joy buzzers, fake vomit, fake doggy doo. What about sour gum? I've never had that gum before.
It's not good.
No, I don't like those. And itching powder is no good. I get thrown out of I get in big trouble in the
They don't
fifth
even
grade.
sell
for-
that shit
I know
anymore.
it. You know what it is? It's insulation.
Yeah,
I put some
it
down
is.
this friend of mine, Stevie Kelly's back, and it was all bloody by like the first recess.
Yeah, it's bad.
Don't get me any of that.
All right. This is the best. But Oscars, who'd you meet?
Oh, I met them all.
Security at the Oscars.
You couldn't name a star in those days. I didn't meet. I mean, I was one
Mercedes Cambridge.
I don't even know Mercedes Cambridge,
So you
but
didn't
Clint
meet 'em all.
Eastwood, Pacino, Barbara Streisand, Liz Taylor. Me and this guy,
Uncle Dan?
me and this guy Bernie were Liz Taylor's not personal bodyguards, but we were the ones who watched over her. That's when Clint Eastwood got his Oscar for directing because we had to kind of bring her back.
For Unforgiven.
Yeah, my job that night was when she was married to that guy Larry. What was his name?
Fratinsky. She met him in rehab, right?
Yeah, and what they told me was, go over there and stand with that guy and don't let anybody ask him any questions. So whenever the media would come over, I'd just say, no, if you ask him a question, you're out of here. You can't even ask. You're out of here if you ask him a question. Because the media would all come over to him and try to get him to say something stupid. So,
I like turtles.
and he was so short. I thought, he looked on camera, but he was like, to me, I mean, anyway, I'm thinking he was like 5'6", 5'7".
And you're what, 6'8", 6'7 and a half?
Used to be. Now I'm down to about 6'1". I'm 6, actually. I measure myself 6 feet and 1/2 inch.
It's very Mr. Rogers of you to stand there in your socks and go, oh, look at that.
No Raj.
No Raj.
Matt was afraid of Mr. Rogers.
Matt was also afraid of the fucking plant in the hallway. He thought the plant was going to eat him.
That plant was fucking scary,
Well,
dude.
You were afraid of Mr. Rogers?
I hated Mr. Rogers.
No
Why?
Raj.
That's what you would yell at the TV?
I would, if that shit would come on, I would just yell like a crazy man. No, Raj.
Why?
No, Raj.
Oh, he's a
But
freaky
you go-
guy.
but you would
I
launch
don't blame you.
He was
And-
scary.
And if they turned the TV off, you would launch into Belly Up to the Bar Boys.
Then I was fucking. Then it was.
How are you straight?
Then it was on. I don't know, man. But I love the.
A 3-year-old. Belly Up to the Bar Boys.
If you saw the dance, though, it wasn't any. It wasn't any like gay.
There was a
little
lot-
gay dance. It was
there
like
was a lot of this.
athletics.
The macho dance.
You guys keep talking.
All right, we'll
All
keep talking.
I should probably film this and put this up on
This
the
is. I mean,
YouTube channel.
Don't
Are you
hurt
actually
yourself.
going to dance right now, Matty
Don't
boy?
hurt yourself. Yeah, this
All
is
right,
the
Matty
patented.
boy, hold on, let me hit my record here. And thank you, everybody, for being patient. All right,
Okay.
here is Matty Boy. Go. You're on. Belly Up to the Bar Boys. Da-da-dee-dee-dee.
Yeah, that's the one he would do.
That's the whole.